Widgets sold in 2012. So you basically have a graph here with the months and then units sold, Widgets Express, Widget Mania, these two data sets, and then you have a worldwide average down here. In 2012, there were 5 internet companies selling widgets worldwide. The graphic shows the monthly sales for 2012 for 2 of those merchants. All right, so 2 of those 5 are shown here. That's basically this red guy and the black guy. And based on the given information, fill in the drop down. So Widget Mania and Widget Express, these 2 data sets. So you know these 2 sets represent only 2 of the 5 total sets. There's actually 3 remaining sets that are not graphed. And this question is saying, well, these 2 accounted for more than the other 3 internet companies for at least 1 month in 2012. So they're saying at least one of these months there exists one case where these two combined, the red and the black, actually sold more than the other 3 combined. So is that a true statement, false statement, or you cannot determine? Well, to test it out, just pick one month where the numbers are kind of easy to work with. So for example, with August, there's 50 is the worldwide average. One of them got 60, other guy at 70. All right, so the worldwide average is 50. If there were 5 total internet companies, the total amount is 50 times 5. That's 250. Now the question is, well, these 2 guys combined, do they make up more than half of that 250? Well, 250 divided by 2 is 125. So you just need these to add up to more than 125. So the question is there at least 1 month here where these 2 guys, when added up, actually equal more than the other 3 guys added up? Right? So there's 3 missing data points. You have to kind of like imagine those 3 points and then sum those up and ask yourself, oh, is there at least 1 month of all these 12 months where these 2 guys actually outperformed the other 3 guys combined? Okay, well, let's pick August, since that's an easy month to work with. You have easy whole numbers, 50, 60, and 70. Now, in August, 50 was a worldwide average. That means on a total there's 250. The other 3 guys made how much, right? 250 is total. Well, you know this guy made 60. You know this guy made 70, so that's total 130. All right, so 250 minus that 130, you get 120. So the other 3 guys combined must have made 120. So does this satisfy the requirement in A? Actually, the 70 plus the 60, 130, the other 3 guys make up 120. So that's actually less than the 130 that these 2 guys made. So actually you already found one example where this statement is true. So you already know the answer for this is true. You can always test other data points. Of course, the further away the red and the black dots are from the average, the more likely A is going to be true. But you already know the answer is true. So you move to B. In August 2012, that same month we were looking at, the 3 widget merchants not specified sold a total of exactly how many widgets? Okay, we already said that the average was 50 and the total was 250, and you basically subtract the 60, you subtract the 70, which is 130. So you know they sold 120. Now you look at your answer choices, 120. Well, the one closest is 116. Now the 129 is a little bit close, but we choose 116. And why do we do that? Because in each of these cases, the dot is actually slightly below the actual line. So it's going to be slightly on the lower side instead of slightly on the higher side. And so 116 makes the most sense here. You mark that as your final answer. Let's go back to A. So we were just lucky before to pick August, but let's say we picked, a number that's easy to work with. Let's say in March. So the average in March was 40, and since there were 5 internet companies, that means the total was 40 times 5 equals 200 total sold. So of that 200 total sold, you minus the 40 from the red, and then you minus, let's say, 50 from the black. So that's 200 minus 90. That gives you 110. So you know the other 3 guys made 110. These 2 guys made 90. Combined, that was 200. So if you look at the question, well, did these 2 guys make up more than the other 3 guys? Well, the other 3 guys made 110. These 2 guys only did 90. So this statement is false. But that was just for that 1 month. Your job is to go through and find at least one case where this statement is true. And if it's always more true the further away the red dots and the red dots are from the average. Now in this case they were kind of close, so of course it didn't work out. But it certainly works in these cases. And you can also try February, right? For February, 30 times 5 is 150 total. You subtract, let's say, of that 150, you subtract, around 90. Then that leaves you with like 60 for the remaining 3. So 90, all right, roughly, these 2 guys made up roughly 90 of the 150, and then the other 3 guys made up like 60 of the 150. So that means, these 2 guys definitely made more than the other 3 guys combined. So that's how you read this chart. You just need to find at least one example in 2012 for this statement to be true. And again, with part B, you basically just look at one specific month and you do that kind of analysis. You get roughly 120, and the closest answer choice is 116.